It's the abstractionist. Oh my god, like this camera is acting just so fugly. Good enough. Good enough, I guess. Okay, so it came today. Well, yesterday, because it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Grandma Baby's Apothecary. So if you don't know, I had a 23 decks for 2023, and a lot of them were Oracle decks. I had to go replay the video back. I went on my channel and just like replayed it back to see what exactly I was interested in purchasing. And I was interested in purchasing a lot of Oracle decks, but one of the decks that I wanted was from this company, Grandma Baby's Apothecary. So it is a Lenormand deck. They had 2 versions. This is version 1. The second version, I think it's like the images are just kind of, there's full bleed and there's no words because this deck has words on it. And it was a third deck that they were trying to get done, but they didn't meet the goal. And it was a beautifully designed deck. I mean, that deck was really nice. It was a circular deck, and it was blue because the person who's interested in it is like interested in hoodoo and like root word conjure in that vein. Like they had that sort of ancestral heredity, you know, ancestral like working essentially. So I was like very drawn to it, and the reason I'm drawn to it is because I am drawn to this symbol here, and it's a symbol that's associated with kind of like hoodoo, but it's also associated with one of the tribes that I feel more drawn to as I get older. I am not an African spirituality like practitioner or anything like that. I don't have I'm not affiliated with any like specific religion or working or anything like that, but ancestrally I kind of feel called to that. And so this is one of 2 decks now that I have that kind of leans more towards like African American specific cultural traditions, specifically with hoodoo. And it's considered an African American practice, right? A descendant of U.S. chattel slavery practice. It is like the merger of a lot of the experiences. It has a lot of African influences, but obviously them being in America definitely is kind of the impetus for why it is what it is. So this is the deck. Yo, this thing is hard as a mug to get open. It's really beautiful, like the matte, it's like matte and nice and silky and stuff like that, which means it's going to show prints. But it was hard as fuck to get open. Hold on. I had to clean this spot up for a second. Hold on. And child, this bourbon chicken I was eating had a, it was all smeared and shit like that on here. I don't know. Like, I'm like, why is the sauce all smeared all over here? Anyway, so it comes in this. And this is the first edition. So the first edition was the cheaper edition. The second was $70. And I was like, I can't stretch this. I had just started getting my new job. I was just starting getting booked. But yeah, so comes in this box. And they have this little, this is cool. That's one thing about hoodoo. It is very much, has some roots in what we call the African American church. This is one of the cards, but it's not like a working card. That's that. So also this symbol has been found in a lot of African American cemeteries and churches and stuff like that, and it's very interesting that it has been there. But like they find, like, you know, they excavate or they do archaeological like research there, and they find like that symbol. So it comes with a guidebook. The guidebook looks like this, nondescript. So if you lose it, you lose it. I would write on here what it is. That way you kind of like know. So yeah, and this is the guidebook. And I was like, why don't they make a big guidebook? Then it's like, well, it should fit in the box, shouldn't it? So there's that. And then, yeah, that's what it is. Boop. And so yeah, this is so it's really interesting because it's one of the few decks that kind of celebrates my heritage, not necessarily my culture, because like I didn't grow up with culture related to this, but I do feel kind of like more aligned with it. I guess it's one of the few veins that I feel like more fully aligned. But yeah. So it does not necessarily follow the Lenormand structure. I forget how many cards it is, but it does have like an addition of a bunch of different cards. So like I feel like is bear in there? We have table, tower, garden, house. Right, so you see the iconography. Then there's this card that doesn't really have one. Right, it just has the Inquirer. And then each card has like a description under it. So like child snake, like clover, lily I know is one. I believe tree maybe one. But then you have ones like moon. You got birds that's in there. Mountain I believe is there. A ring. Then you got ones like corn. Bouquet I think is one. Rider I know is one. You got clouds. Ship. Testimony, which is like really funny. Cross. Broom. Anchor. Heart. Whip. Book. Waters. Sun. Fox. Fish. Mice. Ancestors. Altar. Crossroads. So yeah, like I really enjoy this. Yeah, like I accomplished the goal of getting it because like I said in one of the other videos, this company is out of business. I guess maybe they just felt like they needed to move on, but probably coupled with the idea that like they did meet their goal, you know what I'm saying? They didn't meet their goal. With the one deck, it may have just been a sign that they should move in other directions, and I wish them the best, but I am kind of sad. But yeah, I have one more deck that is related to Hoodoo that I am looking into, and that deck is more expensive than the second edition of this deck, but you know, I wanted to get at least one of these. Because I just found it very compelling. And when I looked at some of the cards, I like chuckled to myself at some of the images, what they did and didn't choose to use, you know what I'm saying? And then you can just learn so much by looking at these like pictures, and it's like it's not fully collage style, right? It's not collage really, it's more like emphasis, de-emphasis when it comes to like the art and how it's portrayed, right? So like these people are most likely in these pictures, they're not like put in there like the ritual tarot where it's like assemblages, or like Voyager tarot is assemblages, you know, stuff like that. It's more like they're there, and it's like emphasizing and de-emphasizing, and it's very interesting what is emphasized and de-emphasized. And I feel like it's really, a compelling deck, so I will be using it in the future. I won't be like using it for you guys, I'm sorry, but I will be using it in the future for personal practice. And I also noticed that like the Lenormand decks that I get are never traditional Lenormand decks. Like I got the what's that one? I forget what it's called, but it's the other one I have, and that one doesn't follow the traditional Lenormand structure. So I need to get a traditional Lenormand and then go from there and see how they differ. But yeah, that's Grandma Baby's Black Gold Lenormand for Grandma Baby's Apothecary. R.I.P. the business. So thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.